Hello and welcome to another live stream here on the Facebook page of Evolutionary Bioenergetics. My name is Vilma. I am a therapist in traditional medicine and a facilitator in energetic techniques. And I meet with you here live on Sundays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Here we do immediate improvements and we also talk about the mind as a sabotaging agent, where it could be interfering with your life goals and how things are not probably working out for you in different life areas. So welcome and thank you for joining. I want to know if you have any questions about the sabotaging mind and the things that you can change. I keep getting questions from you. Some of them are questions that I get in private consultations. You know, I do, or if you didn't, I do one-on-one sessions online anywhere in the world, obviously. And I go about 2 or 3 things that you want to improve in any life area. Changes occur within the session. Okay, that is different because deleting things on the spot is not something I do with the subconscious mind. These are two different things that I do. But I want to know if you have any questions about the things that you could change when you change your mind, or talking about the sabotaging mind and things that you might be curious about, that you would like to improve in your life, that you realize, well, you have been dealing with a certain situation or a certain pattern that seems to be there permanently, and you don't know if it would be possible for you to change it. So if you want to go ahead and ask me right now, I can share with you based on my own results and the results of people that take my training. I can address whatever question you have. So the thing is, the things I go about on one-on-one sessions and when I do here immediate improvements, I'm using the technology of the matter that we all have in our central nervous system, which is different. I'm not using my subconscious mind for that. With the subconscious mind, it's about reprogramming ourselves to ditch the paradigm that you are working from. Because the paradigm is like a program, and that program keeps you in a rut. And because you you don't know you are in a program. So when you don't know that you are in a program, you don't you don't see you are programmed. You don't realize you are programmed, or you are responding to a certain program because that's what the paradigm does. It prevents you from becoming aware that you are spinning in the same spot, basically. Let me know if I'm making myself clear with this. I explain more in my YouTube videos. The videos I do on YouTube are different than these ones. So have you watched them? Do you have any questions about that? Because I go more in depth on how this is structured in those YouTube videos. And all my social media are on, well, you're not going to see them on this very window, but if you go into the main page, like the main wall of this page, you're going to see to the left side a panel with information where you can find my email and my Instagram and my YouTube and all those things. And I also leave links around around here somewhere when this live stream ends. The thing is, I do not know if I will be opening another group later this year. I'm not sure of that. I might wait until the next year. So if you are curious about it but are not sure and you want to ask me anything right now, please go ahead. There's a question here that is saying about the subconscious mind. What if my ancestors, is there a possibility that my ancestors are hindering me for to do something because of my history with them or my past lifetimes? Not with the subconscious mind, not the way I teach it. The way I teach it is select whatever you want from all the possibilities there are. Now, all the possibilities there are, I mean, in life, not all the possibilities that you know, that you learned in school, that your parents told you. No, we are beings with infinite potential. So we are starting from there. That is our starting point. If you are a being with infinite potential, There's no need to reduce yourself to, but what if my ancestor, but what if my past lifetime, but what if the mistakes I made last month or yesterday? It doesn't matter. The way I teach it is you select something that you want. What is it that you want? So it's like saying you want a new car, and then for some reason you think, but I'm not a mechanic. I don't know how to fix cars. Well, who said you have to fix anything? You don't have to. Now, this sounds ridiculous in this example of the car and the mechanic, but it's pretty much how we are operating in life with these kind of things. Your only job, so to speak, is selecting what car you want. Forget about being a mechanic. All your life can go by without you getting that car because you keep thinking that you have to be a mechanic, you have to know how to fix things. No, you don't have to fix anything. You don't have to heal anything. You don't have to go digging in your past and the ancestors, your past lifetimes. With the subconscious mind, you don't have to do any of that. So when I'm doing deletions, when I'm clearing things on the spot, I'm using intuition and I'm connecting through you to those events and where they are coming from. But notice it's just from the past. So what I'm deleting is all those events and the effects of those events, but it's always towards the past. Some people ask me, how about you teach us how to delete things too? Sure, I can do that. But it's about refining your intuition. And if you can't even control your logical mind, no matter, I could teach you these things, and you might still end with, I don't know how to do this because I don't know, I can't tell my mind from my intuition. I can't. Yes, you can. But first, you gotta learn how to tame your mind, how to put your mind at your service. This is why I started teaching the subconscious mind first. Not only because it can give results to anyone, even beginners, but also because you're not limited to the past and you don't have to search or investigate anything. Nothing. You can move through time and take the past as a reference, change your past, and that is going to also have an impact in your present and in your future. And you can also select your future in advance. You can say how it goes, which is not something we do when we are deleting things. I'm not telling you how your life is going to be. I'm not telling you now you have another job. Now you know. It's different. Of course, these two things go very well together, because when we delete something from the past that is hindering you, then it's easier for you to carry on. But it's still, you still don't have a compass or a guideline to produce your future at will. You see? So it's different. I was talking to somebody that saw the last video on my YouTube, and he said, "Oh, yeah, it's very clear. Yeah, everything is understood." And then later, he said, "Well, let's see how future shows up. We shall see how the later stages in life go." Not with those words, but he was talking about later stages, like the elder years. You know, there are people that spend years bedbound before passing, for example, that kind of thing. And he was not saying it with those words, but he was referring to that kind of stage, that stage in life. And I said, "Didn't you say you understood the video? What are you talking about? We shall see." So you are dependent on what? On your presetting your preset mode, whatever you are programmed with. I just told you, you can select. You can select things at will. You can produce your future. You say how it goes. You have that capacity, okay? You have the capacity to produce your life circumstances, and you do it in advance in your subconscious mind, and then it shows up in your physical material reality. Yeah, and all you have to do is select what you want. That's all you have to do. and then you keep going, of course, with the subconscious mind. But let's say the some people are not on board with selecting whatever they want, because again, the paradigm keeps them thinking that they have no choice, that they have no option, just like this person that I just mentioned. Yeah, I understood everything, but then he says, well, let's hope for the best. What are you talking about? You don't have to hope for the best. You can make the best come to you. You have that power within you, but you got to learn how to use it. And you put yourself above and beyond your ancestors, your other lifetimes, your whatever mistakes you have done before. It doesn't matter. You can start with a clean slate every time. And it doesn't matter if the lady with the Akashic records told you, if the lady with the tarot cards told you, if the astrologist, if the guy with the constellations, you name it. You put yourself above and beyond all that with your subconscious mind. If you don't, then you are at the mercy of everyone else and their mother, you know? But why would you keep going like that when you can choose deliberately? You can select with total freedom whatever you want. So some people are so used to not being able to select whatever they want, because when we were younger, we were probably told, that's enough, don't ask for more, don't ask for anything, you can't choose, this is for you, and you have to shut up and just stop back talking, stop it with the tantrums, whatever it was. And you got this idea that you couldn't select whatever you wanted. And that is what keeps many people in the same rut. So if this is a program that you are in, let's say it's this big, and you are only selecting from the things that are contained in that program, but it's about selecting from everything, not just this. And when people say how, you have seen many other things that are not in your life, but you've seen them in other people, other, circumstances of life. You've seen those things that you don't have. So you can select whatever you want. But the sooner you shift that paradigm, the sooner you get out of this little tiny space that keeps you constricted, the sooner, the better the results you are going to get. But it's just about taking action in a different fashion, okay? There's a comment here that says, you are right, we are what we think and what we believe, or something like that. And I said, the thing is that if what you feel and what you think is limited to this, going back to this example of this space, limited space, then you think that's all you have available for you and you can't have anything else. Or you would have to, in order to get out of there, you would have to work super hard, sacrifice, and fight for your dreams. And that is not the case. Now, could you do things in that fashion? Yes, you could. But why would you if you have unlimited resources within? You have a gold mine within you, okay? You have it within you. Why would you go about life picking up pebbles when you have a gold mine within? Now, some people say, I already went there. I didn't find any. I didn't find anything. No, I don't know what you did, but I'm telling you, you have a gold mine within. Everybody does. If we are here alive in this dimension, we all have that gold mine within. Okay. And people that tell me, no, oh, yes, you do. I'll show you. I'll take you. Yes, you have this within. So, again, sacrificing or fighting. And let me give you another example. It's like having a a highway with a brand new car, and then a dirt road with a carriage, and you say, well, the carriage is what I learned. Sure, I know, I understand. Okay, there's still this road that is in perfect condition and this brand new car that you can take. Both are going to take you to the same destination. Why do you insist on going slow in a dirt road that who knows what conditions are ahead? It's not a smooth ride, I'm telling you. And it's going to take you much longer. Why would you take 2 or 3 months for to cover that distance when you could take when you could do it in one day if you took the car instead? But people insist, but I don't have that car. Yes, you do. This is a metaphor. You do have the car. So it's your choice to pick the car or keep taking the carriage. It's up to you. But why would you? I mean, why would you make things complicated and longer? There are, for example, many women that consult me that they want to have babies. They want to get married. They want to have build their own family. And I remember people telling me things like, but I've been repeating positive phrases for over 10 years and I haven't seen any results. Well, if you are just repeating things like here on the surface, like parroting words, well, if you've been doing that for too long, so you see, that's not enough to change the paradigm that you are in. You have to go deeper. Again, all these resources are within you, but you have to learn how to use them. Because then what? You're going to keep saying the positive phrases until you reach an age where maybe it's no longer feasible for you to have a baby. But what are you waiting for? I mean, why not start right now and start using these things in your favor to change your reality? What I'm saying, you can produce your future at will. So if you want to produce something, like for example, maybe you are a woman and you don't want to have babies, or you are a man, and so it could be something else. A company maybe that you want to start, your own company, or another project of your interest, and you keep well, daydreaming about it and wishing for it, and then saying, but things haven't lined up for me to do this. That things haven't lined up, you are producing that as well. Okay, if you're asking how, what, going back to this example, you are in this tiny little space. That's what you're going to keep producing when you limit yourself to being in this spot. So it's about breaking free and getting out of there, because this thing of things not lining up, it's because you are in scarcity. So you are producing your life circumstances anyway, but if you are not doing it purposefully, you are pretty much going against yourself. You are hindering yourself. So it's about shifting things, turning them around in your favor. And you can do this, anybody can do this, and I don't care what you've been told. If you believe that you are a slow learner, or people that are told they are neurodivergent or special learning abilities, or whatever you want to call it, you can do this. It doesn't matter. All those things that you were told are also keys key to keeping you in this tiny space. So it's about going above and beyond all that. Okay. There's a comment here about a person that is asking again for he doesn't have a good sleep pattern. So what I just mentioned about having a family, or your being an entrepreneur, or having your own company, or whatever that is, those things sound like the big things, right? But you can also change the little things, like lines, like standing in line and make it go faster, traffic, the weather, insomnia. If you don't feel like doing stuff and you feel like, oh, I can't get out of this rut. Oh, I feel so sad. Okay, you can change that. If your kids are constantly fighting and you're up to here, because they keep screaming and fighting and hitting each other, you can change that too. Anything, you can change anything, even the little things. So when you are changing others, it's also a lie. Some people believe that for you to be successful, another person has to go into poverty. For you to have money, somebody else is going to lose money. And that's not how it works. That's not how I teach it. You can have whatever you want, and nobody's going to suffer. Nobody's going to die. Nobody's going to be impoverished because of what you are now bringing into your life. Not the way I teach it. Let's say you have a business, and some people say, oh, the employees I have a very high turnover, all those things. Well, guess what? That is the program that you are in. You can change that and make your employees be thrilled to be working for you. They're very happy. They love the work environment. They love it. They love it so much. There's no turnover. What turnover? No, they're not they're not arriving late. They are very responsible. They are very, the model employees, the ideal employees. So notice I'm not saying that you are going to enslave people or do things that are in their detriment. It's about a win-win. It's always like that. At least it's my focus and the way I teach it. So let's say your boss is doing this and you get a job and you feel very good at your job. You enjoy the environment at work. You enjoy the how things are unfolding and the processes that you are doing and everything. You like it. Would you be mad about that? Would you be angry about having a job that you like? I don't think so. So you see, it's always a win-win. It's not going to harm anybody. And that's the way I like to teach it, for everybody to have the best outcome. So when I'm talking about changing others, I'm not talking about manipulation. No, we are shifting into our best version of ourselves, all of us, all the parties involved, change into the best version of themselves. They change into their best version, and so do you. So that's the way I teach it, because those are the best results for everybody to be empowered, everybody to be strengthened. So there's another question here. So we can do all that with the subconscious mind training, also help others, not just ourselves. Yeah, I already mentioned this. You can apply this to yourself. You can apply it to your parents, your partner, your children, your siblings, your associates, your employees. You can apply it to your pets, okay? You can apply it to your plants if you wish to. You can apply it to everything, everything and anything. The phrase in that presentation, make anything possible, it's just like that. Make anything possible. What is anything? What do you understand by anything? Anything is anything. Anything. Another example that I can give you is your mobile phone. Your mobile phone has different apps and programs installed, and they have a default configuration. But that default configuration it's not the only way it can be. When you don't know, you leave it like that, and that's all the functions that you are getting. But if you go into the apps, if you go into those programs and you go to configuration and you start to, let's see, how is this set? Oh, so I see I don't have this option open. I don't have this option open. So I'm going to activate these options. This one, it's not convenient for me to have it on. I'm going to turn it off. This one is too low. I'm going to bring it high. And same for something that is on max and you prefer it to be to the minimum. Things like that. When you do that, that same program is going to give you different results because now you have personalized it to your needs, to what you want to do, to the results that you want to get. This is the same thing. It's an example, but it applies to us as well. So your default configuration would be what you got from your parents, from your teachers, from your spouse, even the beliefs that you have yourself that are so solid, and you are convinced that's the only way it can be. But if it's hindering you, if it's preventing you to go further and get something better, then you change your configuration and you start producing other results. It's the same thing. This is just an analogy, but it's the same thing, and this is why it is possible for everybody to make a change. There's another question here that says, another comment. So the thing is about programming ourselves, how to do it. Well, we do it with our subconscious mind. Another question is, how long does it take us to get into the subconscious mind at will? I already mentioned this example about the carriage in the dirt road and the car on the highway, right? I choose a car and I take you to the car as well. So for beginners, and we go into our subconscious mind in the very first day of the workshop. How long does it take you? The way I teach you, less than a minute. Now, I know there are some methods that take 20 minutes, and okay, sure, I know that exists. I don't follow the method that takes 20 minutes because we can get there in less than a minute. Why would I take 20 minutes? Again, it's the same example about the carriage and the car. So there's a comment here or a question. So let me see if I get this. You teach us how to go into our subconscious mind and program what we want and deprogram of what we don't need. Yes. Now you don't have to. How do I deprogram myself? What am I going to do with the old programs? I don't even know what they are. I don't send you on a quest to dig in your past, in your other lifetimes, in your ancestors. You don't have to do any of that. It's just what I mentioned before. You select the car that you want. You don't have to know how to be a mechanic. That's not what we do. That's not how I teach it. What I teach is not a method. I'm not talking about a bunch of structured techniques. I don't do that because that's not how it works in that realm. When we are in our subconscious mind and we are connecting with other forms of perception like intuition and creativity and even imagination, those things don't follow the same structure as the rational mind. So why would I put a sequence of steps, and if you get stuck in the middle and you don't know how to go about it because you got stuck, and with other techniques and other methods, and you tell that to your teacher, I'm not being able to go through step number 2, for example, in this technique. Well, maybe it's stress. Maybe it's, so they give you maybe some reasons of why you could be getting stuck. But what about solutions? What about being flexible enough to go around things instead of just so you can't do step number 2? Tough luck, because then you can't continue with the exercise. Then don't do it. Do something else. So that's the reason why I didn't make this a method with a structured sequence of steps and techniques that are super rigid. If somebody says, I don't know how to do this, I'm not following through, I'm getting stuck here. Where are you getting stuck? And they tell me, and I give them a bunch of options to try different ones to get around things, because it's not about following a linear procedure. It's not about that. It's about self-knowledge, and of course we have different avenues in perception, and some people have one avenue more open, and others have other avenues more open, and you can dive in with with the avenues that you already have open, but you can also explore others and expand them and develop them and have them all if you wish, you know? So yeah, that's what we do. Can my daughter take the training for the she's a ballerina and she's 16 years old. Yeah. Yeah, she can. There's another question here that says, but how do you achieve that? What you're saying? Well, again, it's going in your subconscious mind. Now, I mentioned earlier that you go into your subconscious mind in the first day, but the module one is about 3 hours long. We have a recess, but it's about 3 hours long. It is towards the end when we go into our subconscious mind. Why? Because you have to I have to give you the baseline. I have to uh, demystify all these things that precisely keep people thinking that they can't achieve these things, that they cannot change their life anymore because it's too late. You're so old, it's too late, it's not going to be for you in this lifetime. That is not true. That is not the case. You can always change. You can always change. But I do give you biological and evolutionary background for you to notice where these things are coming from, because when we don't know that is when we feel stuck or when we feel we can't make it. It's for others, it's for special people, or for enlightened people. I'm telling you, you can do this. Anybody can. But I have to walk you through all those things that takes me more than 2 hours to explain to you where this is coming from, because until I give you that information, you still believe like something's holding you back or you are not in control. But that is very effective for you to regain your power and put yourself in your space of power instead of giving your power away. And when I speak about power, I'm talking about your vital energy. I'm talking about how you are directing your life. Okay? And that's what I'm talking about. So that's how we do it. And I have to give you that information. I have to tell you. Otherwise, we still believe it's just like a, it sounds nice, but I don't think I can do it. Maybe others can. No, you can do it too. So let's do a little strengthening for the person that commented about the sleeping patterns, but also for everybody else here connected for showing up. Thank you for being here. So let's get started by tensing our midline and by strengthening our central nervous system. So let's delete the influence of the human collective. Let's delete also the influence of the physical surroundings, of your ancestors, of your past lifetimes. And also let's delete the different stages or different eras in life where we are transitioning from an older way of operating to the new reality. For example, we have a lot of technology and science and things developing that some of these things weaken some people. So let's eliminate that you are being weakened by technology and modernity and a new way of living where things seem to be faster, right? Precisely, things seem to move faster nowadays than before. Now let's eliminate that you are getting weakened, not just by technology, but also by the speed of the current uh, lifestyle. Now let's eliminate rigid thoughts and rigid patterns from your midline, from your spinal cord, from your central nervous system. Let's make it go all the way down to your tissues, cells, atoms, subatomic particles, quantum particles, subquantum particles, and empty spaces. Let's also activate the physical and non-physical exit portals from your body to get rid of all those things. So let's also delete all the ancestors throughout the centuries that are interfering with you and holding you back. Now remember that all the things that we got from our ancestors, from our other lifetimes, it's not like a punishment that was imposed on us. All these things, we selected them. We did from another conscious, another space or state of consciousness, but we chose those things. So we're not victims. We we um, we chose all those things not to suffer, but to transcend them, to transform them, to turn it around. That's why we grabbed all those things. So these things about what we are erasing here, we are erasing them because we chose them. So if you become aware that you chose everything you have right now, and what you chose or what you are dealing with is not what you want, that means the same way you chose what you have right now, the same way you can choose something different, but now with this consciousness that you can choose whatever you want. And listen, I've been in different schools and different, trainings, courses, and in every single one of them, I have encountered a you can't do that, at least in one thing, things that supposedly I cannot do. And they tell me that, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't? I've been doing that already. Of course I can. But when you don't know this, you set like a limit because that person told you you can't do that. Well, I say no. You can make anything possible. Okay? So that's why I developed this workshop in this other way. Instead of giving you structured methods, it's freestyle. You choose what you want and you go get it, okay? And I'm here rooting for you and giving you options if you ever feel stuck. And there's always a way around it. There's always a way around it. Whatever it is that you are feeling stuck, there's always a way. Okay? Because in the subconscious mind, there are no limitations. In that space, you are limitless. I don't care what it is, you are limitless. And let's also eliminate that all the misinformation and all the fears and the insecurities from your lower brain, and how you or your ancestors, I mean, you and your ancestors misled others into precisely telling them this and this you cannot do. You can't do this, you can't do that. Some people say, well, this guru that I listen to says, he says or she says, I can't do this or that. So you set a limit for yourself because they say you can't. Well, maybe they don't know. They can go around that. Or maybe they don't want people to know. I don't know. I'm not talking about anyone specific. I'm telling you, you can make anything possible, okay? I don't care what it is. So, but let's eliminate all these ideas that you got from karma, from you and your ancestors telling others of all the things that they cannot do, that they will never achieve. Let's eliminate that. That you keep resonating with that as a karma or as a consequence of misleading others. Let's erase that. So, that wheel that people spin for a prize that has like a needle, and depending on where it lands is a prize that you get. Imagine that as a wheel of karma. When you are changing another person and you wish them harm, you wish them things to go bad for them, it doesn't matter who they are or what you think they did to you, okay? This is general. Whenever you wish harm to anybody, or for things to go bad, or to wish the worst for them, the worst outcome for them, what you're basically doing is you're spinning that wheel, and that wheel is a wheel of karma. So it's basically you are putting yourself back in that wheel with that person. But you are doing it, and you are doing it because you don't know the consequences of it. That is why I always, when you're going to change a situation that involves other people, it's a win-win situation. Now, win-win does not mean that you have to go and hug them and say to them, I love you so much, if that's not true. It can be something neutral. For example, somebody that you don't like and they go away. They disappear from your life. You don't see them anymore. That is neutral. Instead of, for example, oh, how I wish a train would run him over. You see the difference? When you are wishing harm, then when you say that person is no longer here, they went away. They disappeared. I didn't see them ever again. That is neutral. Or a happy ending if that's what you want, if it's a close relationship that you want to revive or bring back into your life, or start new, So that's how I go about it, and that is the reason. You don't want to wish harm to anybody because whatever you put out there for others, basically you are putting it upon yourself as well. So it's not convenient. At least for convenience, I don't suggest you do that. So when you learn to when you get a hold of how consciousness work and how you can bring anything into your life, you no longer feel the need for vengeance, getting back to anybody or wishing them harm, because staying there trying to get vengeance is keeping you in the drama. It's keeping you spinning in the same rut. So you keep bringing more of that into your own experience. Even if you say no, but with the subconscious mind, I'm only wishing harm for them, but not for me. That's not how it works. You cannot cheat consciousness. Or, I mean, if you know how to cheat consciousness, you let me know, because that's not how it works. So, but you don't need to. Once you get the hang of it, you no longer need to resort to any of that, because you can just let it go. I teach you, of course, how to do this, and simply focus on the best outcome for you and others, and everybody is goody, and that's how we roll. So, do you feel the same or different with the strengthening that we did? Let's release also. Let's see. The stiffness in your upper back. Let's also eliminate all the burden that you have been carrying over your shoulders, that was that others put on you, but also the things that you took upon yourself, even when it was not your responsibility. So let's eliminate all those things that you are carrying, that you have been carrying, and let's eliminate also all the effort and tiredness, all the strain. We're doing this throughout through time, space, dimensions, and realities. Now, do you feel the same or do you feel different? I want to thank you very much for your time, and also invite you to watch those videos on YouTube, because it's different than what we are doing here. Here we are switching languages, I'm interacting with you, I'm answering questions, and I'm glad you asked questions. I thought those questions were already answered in the videos, because the videos on YouTube are pre-recorded. So I basically develop a topic and I go about it with giving examples, and on stages it's more it's a little bit more structured than what we're doing here, by me answering your questions and going back and forth in English and Spanish and all that. But still, watch them, and if you have any questions, you can write your questions in the comment section there on YouTube, or you can send me an email if you prefer that. I have my email posted here above this video once the stream ends, and also in the main wall of this page. I'm sorry for going over the hour, but I did want to answer your questions, so I'm glad you asked. And if you still want to ask me something that was not clear, you can go ahead and reach me in any of those channels. So I want to thank you for your time. I'm getting feedback here that you feel better. Okay. My pleasure. So I will be with you here on another live next Sunday. Have a very happy week ahead.